Hi guys, this is Sarah here, and you're welcome and welcome back to Still with Sarah. On this channel, we talk everything sewing. So today we want to discuss how to calculate your fabric. Have you ever been in a situation where you've gone to the market, you've gotten the fabric, and in the middle of cutting, you realize that your fabric will not be enough? Yes, it has happened to me before. So it's not something that is far-fetched or that is not common. It's sort of common, and that's not the only issue. Sometimes you buy excess fabric. There are a lot of times that you go to market and you spend more than you are supposed to. At least that one, you know that probably you use the fabric for another project. But why would you buy an excess fabric when you can easily buy the amount of fabric that you need for a project? So today we are discussing how to determine the amount of fabric to buy for a project. Because you save yourself a lot of mental stress. You save yourself from unnecessary spending. You save yourself from, shortage, and you can easily plan your project. Okay, so now let's dive into the proper video. So now let's talk about the factors that you consider when you want to calculate the amount of fabric that you need for your project. Number one is the style. Okay, so you cannot say the amount of fabric that you need for a gown is the amount of fabric that you need for a skirt. So different styles require different amounts of fabric. So let's take trouser for example. The amount of fabric that you need for a straight leg trouser is different from the amount of fabric that you need for a palazzo. So those are the things that you put in consideration. Like the first thing that I want to talk about that you put into consideration, the style. The style, if it is skirt, if it is trouser, if it is gown, whatever it is. And again, if it is trouser now, like I said, is it peplum? Sorry, there's a peplum trouser. Yes, there's a peplum trouser. There is palazzo. There's straight leg. There is different trouser. So know the style first, and secondly, the measurement of the client. You have to put that into consideration. If the person is on the big size, the medium size, or the smaller size, that is part of what you put into consideration. And how do you know this? You consider the bust, the hip, and the height of the person, because height also determines a lot. It is part of what you put into consideration when you want to buy your fabric. Another thing you put into consideration is the fabric you're buying itself. We all know that Ankara is the width of Ankara is 45, and even Ankara 1 yard is not up to 36 anymore. It's about 33, 34 now. If you meet the people that have the fear of God, you see, like, I've not recently come across 35. So it's 33, 34, 33, 34. So those things, so like Ankara has like 45 in width, and the length is not even up to 36 in, like, for the yard again. And you know that crepe is like 60 in length, and they sell it in yard and they sell it in trouser. So you put all those things also into consideration. The next thing you put into consideration is the detailing on the style that you want to make. What do I mean? I mean, if it is having pockets, collar, peplum, belt, ruffles, the kind of sleeve that is going to have, if the sleeve is going to have ruffle or peplum or any of those things, you have to put it into consideration. Okay, so the next thing, I mean, that's all that I have for you. So now, when you put all these things together, you know that you know the style. At least you have the mental picture of the style. You know the detailings on the style. You know the measurement of your client. So those are the things that you put together, because there's no magic about, okay, this is how you know the amount of fabric for this particular style. You have to put everything together, and then you arrive at, okay, this amount of fabric is the, like, um it is what is going to be enough for this style. Do you understand? So if I don't think there's any formula for, like, okay, if you use this times, like, this is what you're going to get. I don't think there's anything like that. So you have to put things into consideration before you arrive at the amount of fabric you are getting for your client. So after putting everything into consideration, now let's talk about the mistakes that people make when they want to, like, buy fabrics. That is that you have a sex or is not enough. The first one is buying fabric before choosing style. And I feel this is more common to when your customer bring fabric to you. They will bring fabric and then they will choose style, which is supposed to be you choose style, then you buy fabric so that you know the amount of fabric you are getting. That's number one. Number two, forgetting allowances. So sometimes when you do all your calculations, you put pockets, clinical, and everything into consideration. You are supposed to add, like, a yard extra, and if you're buying probably in trouser, maybe the material you're getting is in trouser, you're supposed to add at least half trouser to your measurement, so that you know that if it is going to, like, if you'll be needing more, you'll have made space for like that extra that you'll be needing. And again, you put into consideration pattern placements. What do I mean? Just some, look at this material now. Let me show you an example. Something like this that has this kind of pattern. Look at it. That has this kind of pattern. You can see that it has head of lion, like, and everything is the same way. So you put into consideration something like this too. So if you want to cut this kind of cloth, you know that you have to cut it so that the head will be up, and then that means you cannot just fold it anyhow. Do you get what I mean? So pattern placement too, you have to put it into consideration when you want to buy your fabric. So something like this that has head, or a figure that is in, like, the direction is one side, you have to put that one into consideration. You cannot just fold it anyhow. And again, if your fabric is straight, like maybe vertical lines, you have to put that into consideration. You cannot just fold it anyhow. So you have to buy more of like fabric like that. Sure, you understand? And again, what else? Directional design is more like the two that we have spoken about. Maybe the stuff on the material you are using is facing one direction. You cannot just say you want to, because the clothes is not enough, you want to use another direction. It has to face the direction, if it is up, if it is down, and if it is going sideways. Okay. And again, as a beginner, try to calculate, like, if you are starting, you will try to calculate that, okay, when I made clothes for this kind of size, for this particular size, how many material, how many yards or trouser of material did I use? Or if when I made for this one, so that one will guide you. You get better with time, so that you'll be able to, like, quickly estimate. You still have to intentionally estimate, but it will be quicker this time because you are used to it. You've been doing it. But if you know you cannot do that, like, automatically, and just say, like, okay, let me do this, this is the amount you are using, you have to intentionally put all these things into consideration. Then you will know that, okay, this is what I have. I'm going to add half trouser or 1 yard to it, so that it will be enough for my project. So this is the end of this class. If this class is helpful, like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you have any questions, like I always say, you can drop it in the comment section. Then I will do well to, like, expatiate or talk more about it. So see you in my next video. Bye bye.